Hi, Teri here from Stamping Magic. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is a little gift holder or treat holder. I've used the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set together with the coordinating Brilliant wings dies, and for this one I used papers from our retired Pattern Party Designer Series paper pack. For this next one, I used paper from the Friendly Hello Designer Series paper pack. Now this paper pack was one of the freebies in a recent Celebration promotion. To open the holder, you just need to slide off the band and then you can get into your box. And it's very easy to slide the box back into the band to close it. So, let's get started. These are all the measurements you need for all the elements required to create this project. So if you're interested in reproducing it, take a screenshot so you can refer to it later. I'm using Misty Moonlight card for my box this time because it goes with the paper I've selected. This colour is now retired though. I'm going to place it into my Simply scoreboard with the longest side across the top, and I'll score down at 3½ inches, 5¼ inch, 8¾ inches, and 10½ inches. Then I'll quarter turn clockwise, and I'll score down at 1¾ inches. I'm now going to turn it back so the original long side was across the top, and I want to score halfway within both the side sections, and that's going to be at 4 3/8 and 9 5/8. But I don't want to go all the way down. I'm not even going to go down to the horizontal score line. I'm going to score down to 2 5/8 of an inch. Now to find out where that measurement is, I'm working with the ruler on the left hand side. I'm going to use my metal ruler, which has a straight edge on the left hand side, and position it on 2 5/8 of an inch. Now you want to make sure your ruler is completely straight. It's easy to get it skew with, even with that straight edge, believe me. Now I'm going to score down at 4 3/8 of an inch, just to the top of the ruler, and 9 5/8 of an inch. So the gap between the bottom of the score lines you've just made and the horizontal score line should be about 7/8 of an inch. I need to do a little extra scoring at the bottom of the side sections. I'm going to score a little triangular shape. Now I'm going from the end of the score line that I made at the halfway point to each of the bottom corners of the side section. I'm using my metal ruler and my scoring stylus. There is a little cutting to be done before we put this box together, and first of all we need to separate all the tabs along the base of the box, so I'll be cutting up all the score lines. Now the little rectangular shape on the right hand side in the bottom corner will be removed, and then I'll make slanted cuts at the top and the bottom of the remaining ½ inch tab. I'll also make slanted cuts on the square tabs along the bottom, not the rectangular tabs. So starting with that bottom right corner, I'll remove it, and then I'll slant cut the top and the bottom of the remaining ½ inch tab. Then I'm going to cut up next to the score line. I'm just making a straight cut, and I'm cutting just to the left of the score line. So when I make my slanted cuts, that will remove it. Then the next cut is to the right of the score line, and then to the left of the score line. So again, when I make those little slanted cuts, the score lines are removed. This helps the box fold in much neater. I can now fold and burnish on all the scored lines. Now when you come to do the side scores, they all want to be valley folds. Just shape them with your fingers. Don't worry about burnishing them. To make the box shape, all you need to do is add glue to the 1/2 inch tab on the side edge. Now if you want to, you can use tape adhesive. I prefer wet glue. Then just close the opposite side on top of it. The side with the join is the back of the box. You want to fold that tab in first when you're doing the base. Then add glue to the remaining 3 tabs. You want to fold the sides in first and then the front tab, and then give it a good press down from the inside. To close the box, you just push the sides in with your 4 fingers and bring the front and back together. This beautiful paper that I'm using today comes from the Heart and Home Designer Series paper pack. This is in our current mini catalogue. Now when selecting your paper, you want to be careful with the design you choose because it needs to look okay both ways up. You don't want it to wrap around your box and then be okay on one side but upside down on the other. It's best not to pre-score this band, but to wrap it around. Now I'm going to line up one edge with the top front edge of my box. Now this strip that I'm using is actually 12 inches long. You don't need 12 inches, not quite, but I've just cut a 3-inch strip of paper. Then I'm going to gently wrap it around the bottom and the back of my box. Then I'll squeeze the box closed and fold the paper over the top and just press it gently at first, and then once I'm happy I'll make more defined creases. Now once I'm at this stage, I can fold my paper properly and then burnish it with a bone folder. Make sure that you line up the side edges to ensure that your score lines, your fold lines, are nice and straight. I'm going to check it once again against my box just to make sure that the band doesn't feel too tight. If it is too tight, it's going to be difficult to slide on and off. Once you're happy, then you can die cut the front edge. On the ends of the band, you'll have one larger section and one smaller section. It's the smaller section that you're going to die cut. This is the top front. I'm going to use one of the basic border dies to die cut my edge, but you could use any border die really that you have. You want to have some washi or low-tack tape ready so you can secure the die in place. I'm using my grid paper to help me place my die straight. I'm also centering the die, the shape of it, on my paper. Now I'm going to cut it about halfway down, but you can cut it wherever, it doesn't make any difference. I'll secure it with the tape and then I'll run it through my die cutting machine. Now when I run it through, I shall just run it past the die and then I'll back it straight out again. If you run it all the way through across your designer series paper, sometimes your plates can mark the paper and it doesn't look so good, so just run it past the die and then back it out. The edging this die cuts is lovely. Now, because I've got very busy paper, the shape isn't going to show up too much on this holder, not unless you scrutinise it quite closely, but it does give a lovely join. Now, to attach it, to make the band, I'm just going to add glue to this section, but I'm not taking it right up to that fold line. I want to leave a bit of wiggle room to help get the box in and out. So I'm leaving a gap of about, I don't know, ½ an inch or so from the score line. Then I can carefully wrap it around my box again, squeeze it closed, and just wrap that edge over, making sure the side edges line up. And then just give it a press down and leave it to dry. This is the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set. There are 6 beautiful butterflies and they're all on one stamp. So you ink up your stamp and stamp it down, and then you can die cut the whole thing, so all 6 butterflies together, using one of the Brilliant Wings dies. And this is a huge set of dies, but it includes this one die that will cut all the butterflies together. And it's always worth stamping all 6 whenever you need to stamp them, because any you don't use you can put aside to be used on a later project. And that's what I've done, so you won't actually see me stamp these today. I've already stamped them using smoky slate ink and die cut them. I've also gone ahead and die cut a little scalloped circle, and this is in basic white, and I've added dimensionals to the reverse. I use one of the Tasteful Labels dies to do this. I'm going to use the large die from the Brilliant Wings set to die cut a Misty Moonlight back for my butterfly. So I've just got a small piece of Misty Moonlight and I'm going to place it under the butterfly that I want cut and then die cut it. And then these can be layered together. Now I want to add some dimension, so I'm going to place some dimensionals on the tips of each of the 4 wings. Then I can bend the butterfly that I coloured back slightly, and then I'll add some glue down the centre. Now I need to remove the backings from the dimensionals, and then I can line it up with my Misty Moonlight butterfly, and I'm lining it up at the centre first of all, pressing that glue down and holding it while I press the wings. And you just want to give it a few seconds for that glue to dry. And that's my little layered butterfly. I can now position this onto my little basic white circle, and I'm just adding glue to the back of the butterfly down the centre, and then I can place it on the circle. I can remove the backings from the dimensionals, and then I can place this onto my little treat holder or gift box. I'm going to add some pearls to the centre of my butterfly, but I want to colour them first, and I'm using my dark Fresh Freesia Blends marker. Now you want to add a couple of layers. They dry really quickly, and once they're ready you can just add them to the butterfly. I'm using two different sizes here. One of the medium size pearls for sort of the head end, and then I'm using 4 or 5 of the small ones. And that's it. That's my little treat holder or gift holder complete. So the band should slide off easily, and it should go back on very easily unless you've made it too tight, so watch for that. I think it's a very simple, very quick and easy project, but it looks very pretty. Here's another look at my original ones. Now I used rhinestones for this one and coloured them in the same way as I did for the pearls. The colours I used are Pool Party and Fresh Freesia for the butterfly. And then this one uses pearls. I think I coloured these with Rich Raspberry. The cardstock is a retired colour, and I was trying to match it. The colours I used for the butterfly are Rich Raspberry and Dark Daffodil Delight. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye for now.